Hello guys, this is Zen. I'm a professional property consultant and also an ex-lawyer. I believe all of you have known that the Movement Control Order (MCO) has been further extended to 28th of April. So some welcome this announcement, but some don't welcome it so much. Why? Because some of them whose income is not that much affected by this MCO can take it in a more positive way. But for some others, their incomes are badly affected. So they have started to worry about their imminent future. And today in this video, I'm going to talk to you about why you should grab this once in a 10 years opportunity to invest. So if you belong to those whose incomes have been affected, we sincerely hope that you can keep this money that you have saved from the bank's 6-month moratorium or the relief or subsidies you have received from the government in your hand, so that you have enough cash flow to pass through this difficult period. So if you're still unaware or unsure about any of the reliefs offered by the government, you can visit my Facebook page. I've compiled those information for all of you. Meanwhile, for the others whose incomes are not affected during this MCO, or you have accepted the bank's 6-month moratorium, or even you have received some subsidies from the government, you have no problem of sustaining your daily life because your income is not affected. So you happen to have a big chunk of money in your hand, but you have no idea where to put it in because even the bank's FD's interest is so low now.
Oh my god.
If that's the case, I strongly suggest you use it to invest. I believe all of you have heard of this quote before. In the midst of every crisis lies great opportunity. And the famous investor and book author Robert T. Kiyosaki also advocates to create wealth during an economic crisis. And one of the best ways to do it is through investing in real estate or properties. So, why is now the best time to invest in properties? We have prepared the following data and explanation for you to understand it more clearly. Number one, after every economic crisis, the Malaysian property price will rebound quickly and go upward. From these two charts, you can see that after the Nipah virus crisis and Asian financial crisis in year 97 and 98, after initially dropping, the property price swiftly rebounded and go upward the next year. The global financial crisis in year 2008 and 2009 also showed similar pattern. Why is that so? It's because property or house is a must-have, a necessity, just like clothing, food, and transportation. So after the economic crisis, once people have settled their needs on clothing and food, then they'll start to think of a way to settle their housing needs and transportation needs, which means property and car. Hence, the market demand during that period of time will still be very stable, and with strong demand, property price will go up. Number two, after economic crisis, the market will surely recover. So, will the stock market recover? Yes, of course. Instead, property investment is less volatile than stock market. It is more stable. From this chart, highlighted in red, you can see that when the stock market goes into a bear run during the 1998 crisis and 2008 crisis, the property market will hedge against depreciation. Meaning, it's not that it will not depreciate, but it will never happen a situation where the property price drops from 500k to 200k. But there is every chance that the share price will drop from 5 ringgit to a mere 20 cents. On the other hand, when the market recovers and the stock market goes into bull run, which is highlighted in blue, the property market will go up in parallel with the stocks. So you see, now that our stock market has dropped tremendously, and if we compare our past experience to the current situation, we can foresee that in the near future, when the economy recovers and when the stock market go on a major bull run, it is a time when property price will go and increase tremendously as well. So, do you want to buy a property when it is that expensive? I leave the answer to yourself. Number three, the government and Bank Negara will surely take action and come up with policies to save the market. One of the most common policies that we all know is to reduce the interest rate. When the interest rate is low, people will start to reduce their savings in the bank. And that creates more cash flow in the market. Hence, there will be more commercial activities and also investment in the market. That is how the economy can recover.
This chart shows us the past interest policies by Bank Negara. You will see that during the 2008 crisis, Bank Negara has lowered the interest rate for several times to save the market. And when the economy eventually became better, in year 2010 and 2011, the property bull run started. Many investors have made their first $1 million during this period. So why was there a bull run? It's because when the interest is low, people need to fork out less money to pay for the mortgage. For example, initially one has to pay 2,000 ringgit per month. Maybe it then becomes 1,700 ringgit per month only. Buying a house became more affordable. Hence, the buyers flocked into the market to buy. Looking back to our current situation, Bank Negara has already lowered the interest rate 3 times since May 2019. And they may still lower it again in the near future because of this COVID-19 stuff. So if you compare now to the history, when will the next property bull run be? You know the answer.
Number 4. Since nearly 10 years ago, when I was still working as a lawyer, I've heard people talking about bubbles and only buy a house when bubble bursts. The only thing I want to ask these people now is, have you all finally managed to wait for your bubbles? You see, when the property price is good, when the property price is high, you didn't dare to buy because you're afraid of buying expensive. You're afraid of bubbles. But now, when the market is slow, when the property price is low, you still don't dare to buy. You're afraid of bad economy. You're afraid that you're not being able to earn money from it. Hello? So when are you finally going to buy? Bro, don't play. Number 5, which is also the last point, it's not every day that we have a financial crisis. The older generation of investors always said there will be one crisis once every 10 years. In 1998, we have this Asian financial crisis. 2008, we had the subprime crisis. 2018 was surprisingly peaceful. But 2 years later, now we are forced to face with this COVID-19 crisis. So although the global financial situation now is in a downturn, but to quote Warren Buffett, be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy only when others are fearful. So if you miss this opportunity now, you may have to wait for another 10 years for a crisis opportunity like this to create your own wealth. How many 10 years do we have? All in all, if you are someone who is looking to buy a house for own stay, it is the best time for you to buy your dream house because the interest rate has been reduced. So if your loan application was not successful last time, it may be approved this time. And if you are someone who is always looking or interested in property investment, now is the best time for you to enter the market. I hope my sharing today is helpful to all of you. If you like my video, please help me to click like and share. If you'd like to learn more about property knowledge or find out more great deals in property, you can always follow my Facebook page. I'm Zen. See you in my next video. Stay safe, stay at home.